McMillan, Senior Pastor at John Knox Presbyterian Church. This past week, I took a couple days vacation and accompanied my son, Kyle and Colin, in Tulum, Mexico. They were leading a men's health retreat. And I was the transport for them. So I got a big van and I hauled them around to Tulum and Acapulco to ruins and to cenotes. And it was wonderful to see this group of guys growing, learning together. When I finally dropped them off at the airport, the next morning I hauled onto the van to take a trip to Isla Blanca, which is a long, narrow strip of land that ends the Yucatan Peninsula. And I thought I could just drive out there and get to the end of the peninsula. And so I was leaving early in the morning, like around 5:15 in the morning, driving north, and got into a dirt road that suddenly turned into sand. And I was probably going about 20 miles an hour, and I felt the whole van just begin to sink. I thought, oh no, what am I gonna do? And I began to pray, like, man, the dawn was occurring and I was praying and the van was stuck and I was working like mad. And I saw evidence of other vehicles that had been there. There were pizza boxes and palm branches and carpets that were out there, floor mats, of all the things that people had used to try to get their vehicle out of that sand trap. And I remember praying and then getting kind of impatient. God, why aren't you getting this van? I'm working like mad. I'm praying. I need you a little more than what you're showing up for. Come on. And a guy showed up on the bank on this dune right above me. And he wasn't going to come down and help. But he started talking to me, kind of guiding me in Spanish on how to do it and how to orient. And he watched me working and sweating and getting stressed. And he said, con calma, which means just be calm. Gather your strength. You're not alone. It's a very powerful message. And I grabbed some water and then I got right back into it. And he kept saying, con calma, do it calmly, do it focused, do it well. And at last I couldn't make any more progress. And a sedan pulled up on the road. It didn't get into the sand trap with me, but they then walked toward me and they passed me, and the two guys from Australia, they turned around and they said, you need some help. I'm like, yeah, I need some help. And so I got to rock the van back and forth, and they pushed like mad, and eventually they got me out. And I could not have done it without them. I don't know what would have happened if they hadn't come along, but I don't know. I'm thinking back on this, wondering that sometimes our prayers require us to work a bit. Sometimes our prayers are answered by someone who shows up telling us, be calm. Be calm in the midst of your stress. Breathe, take some water, get your rest along the way. And then the gratitude for people who show up when we need them most. Remember, you're not alone. God cares for you, and so do we.